Hi guys, this is Mauricio Prinslao for cloudbackupping.com, and today I have a look at Safecopy Backup. In the last couple of weeks, I've been reviewing a lot of unlimited online backup services because they seem to be quite trending lately. People simply don't want to think about how much data they have to back up. However, most of these unlimited online backup solutions come with a downside. They are not completely unlimited, as they are limited to just one device, unless you purchase another license, and this obviously can add up quickly to your monthly bill. So Safecopy Backup does not offer unlimited backup, but starts rather at 200 GB for $50 a year. So there is plenty of space, and while you are limited in storage space, there is no limit in terms of machines you can back up. And if you find yourself working with a variety of devices at work, at home, or anywhere else, Safecopy Backup might be an option for you to look at. In this video, we'll have a look at its features and how it works exactly. And don't forget that you can test Safecopy Backup for free with a 3 GB backup account, and you can keep that as long as you want and need it, and later upgrade when you run out of space. When you are on safecopybackup.com, you can already see what is the major selling point of that backup solution. It is that you can back up all your computers with just one account. And before you actually commit yourself, you can test Safecopy Backup for free and get the 3 GB account. And this is what we're actually going to do. We click on that sweet little button and download the software onto our Macintosh. I am doing this review here with a Macintosh. However, it works just as fine with your Windows machine, and you can watch this review also if you are a Windows user. So don't worry and stay with me here, even if you are a Windows user. So after downloading the software, you can obviously install it and are guided through an installation wizard, which is quite easy. This is actually no rocket science. However, I am going to include this step here into the review to have a holistic view of that program. And the next step, you can choose your language. I'm obviously going to choose English here, and that we have the software in English. And then you can choose whether you want to stay with your 3 GB account or if you want to upgrade to the 200 GB account for $50 or even more. And when you sign up for 2 years, for example, then you get a nice discount of, I think it was 20% or something. Or if you have already an account, you can type in your serial number. In fact, let's have a look at the pricing here. So we have the 200 GB plan, which is currently sold out. So if you want the 200 GB plan, you would have to commit yourself for 2 years, but get a 10% off. So you only end up paying $90, which is, well, on the expensive side of the online backup services. However, it is very attractive because you get unlimited machine backups. So there is no restrictions whatsoever, and this makes it actually quite unique and worth the price, in my opinion. Or if you want more space, then you can opt for the 300 GB plan, which is also plenty of space for your data. But we are going to create a new account as we are not a customer yet. So let's sign up here quickly with our email address and choosing a secure password. And with a click on next, your account is automatically being created and you can start backing up your data. And this is actually what I pretty much like. So you are directly thrown into the backup process. There is not much fiddling around with the software. You can head right directly into your backup selection. So you can choose here whether you want to back up the My Documents folder, which is basically the standard option and should include all the most important of your files if you are organizing your files that way. Or you can choose a folder where you want to back up your files to. And here we are going to select a custom folder. And as I do with all of my online backup services, I prepared a test folder with some test files. These are documents, pictures, video, audio files, and it is roughly 1 GB in size. And I try to resemble a typical backup scenario of the average user. And at the end of the selection, you can also say whether you want to have the bandwidth throttle in automatic state, which should work fine for most of the users. However, If you have a slower internet connection, it might be worth it to set it to really low. Then obviously you have to wait longer until your backup is finished. In our case, we want to pump it really up and have very fast backups. And here in the next step, you already can see that it starts the backup right away and throws the files onto their servers. And my impression is that it is quite quick. I've seen a lot slower online backup services, so I'm quite satisfied with the speed. However, I will pause the video here and resume the video when all the files have been transferred and give you feedback on how fast that really was. So we are back now. Our backup is complete, and you can see that we are using currently 32% of our 3 gigabytes of storage. And actually, the speed is quite well, as we are now with 45 minutes to complete a 1 gigabyte backup. And this puts Safecopy Backup at least, I think, into the top 5 online backup services that I have tested. So I'm very satisfied with that. But obviously, there are still other functions, other features that we want to test and see whether Safecopy Backup can satisfy our needs here as well. Basically, all the modern online backup services do offer continuous backup, and continuous backup means whenever a file changes, the backup starts automatically backing up that file. And the even more sophisticated online backup services do have a feature called data deduplication, so they know exactly which bits and bytes of a file have been changed and only upload the changed portion of that file, and thus saving a lot of bandwidth and a lot of backup time. So let's test that here with a little text file, which is not going to be that heavy to back up, but will illustrate a little bit the functionality of the continuous backup feature. So we create a text file, and well, it can be named untitled, that's fine. So hello, this is a test, let's say, and we can already see that it has backed up our file. And now when we go back into the text file, we can actually see that if we modify it, so let's put that a little bit down, and if we modify it, now the backup will be automatically running. It has already detected that we still are about to edit the file, and now we hit save after typing in the text, and you can see that the status automatically jumps to running and will back up the document. So this works quite well, and also this works well with larger files and larger projects. And Safecopy Backup does not give you a file size limit, so theoretically you can also back up files that are, I don't know, 5 gigabyte in size. So for example, huge audio files or video projects or something like that might be worth it. So let's have a look at the other options here. For example, we can browse our backups and have a look at them wherever we go, basically via the web browser. So when we log in to the account, we can do that via the browser, safecopybackup.com, or by just clicking in the software to browse our files. We can dig into the file system and click on test files and see whether all the files are actually there. And it gives us also the option to upload a file via the web browser, but we are limited to 50 megabyte. And here we see our files. As you can see, I have PowerPoint presentations, Word documents, and Excel files, and other folders, and it is not possible to preview a file within a web browser, so this would be actually a feature that I would have loved to see. You only see the little thumbnail, but I've not seen a feature that allowed me to actually preview the file and then see that in large. So this is the option we have. We can share it, we can download it, then you can see that it downloads the file automatically and downloads it to the PC we are working on. And also, what is quite interesting, we can have a look at the file versions. So if you remember the document that we opened before and edited before, the untitled.rdf, we can see that we have 2 versions here that have been stored on Safecopy Backup. And this is the first version, and it stored the state of this first edit. So whenever you save a file accidentally, you can always go back, and Safecopy Backup supports unlimited file versions, so you are completely safe with that. But, and here comes a big but, is it adds up to your storage. So if you have lots of file versions and do have frequent changes to your files, you might consume your backup space quite rapidly. Safecopy Backup tells us that, well, all the copied files do use the file deduplication. That's why they are saving actually much space, and they do not take much space. But in practice, it really can add up and eat up your storage space. So you have to be aware of that, and this is not clearly communicated by Safecopy Backup when you are signing up for that service. So have that in mind when you actually sign up and purchase Safecopy Backup and choose that for your main backup. And there's also the option to search for specific files. So let's say we are looking for our Word documents. Well, when we type in docx, it doesn't find anything, and the question is why. So when we click on the Word button below the search, we can see that there is a certain naming structure that we have to be aware of, and this is ext for extension : docx. And when we type, for example, ext : MP4, we get all the MP4 files. So you cannot type in just the MP4 and then it spits out all the MP4s, but it only works with the title of the files that you can just type in directly. And if you're looking for extensions, you have to do it that way. Now, let's have a look at another feature that is interesting for a lot of you guys, and that is file sharing. So remember the time when you had to send large email attachment and suddenly the email server would respond that the storage quota is not enough for sending that file? Well, now you can use Safecopy Backup and choose files from within your backup stack and actually share that files with colleagues, friends, and family. And Safecopy Backup now will create a secret link, a private link, and the third party can actually open that link and download that and use that for editing purposes. So I will send now a file to myself and say, okay, I want to protect that with a password to make it even more secure and more anonymous. And I can also set the validity of that file for a day. And you can only download that file for a day. So my message has been sent, and now we can have a look at our email account and see actually that link, or we can just send the link to the third party, to our friend or family, and he or she can download the software. But let's have a look at how the link looks in our email client. And here we have a link from myself, obviously, that I send via the Safecopy Backup software. And when we click on it, you can see, hey, this is the link. And also it sends the password. It is a clear text password, so that makes it not that secure, but we have to live with that, I guess. So after typing in the password, you click on submit and can actually download the file and edit the file accordingly. So this has been my Safecopy Backup review. I hope I could really show you the features and the possibility you have with Safecopy Backup. And now the question is, do I recommend Safecopy Backup for your backup? Well, first of all, let me say that I was pretty impressed with the backup speed. So if you want to have a fast backup, I can sure recommend Safecopy Backup, and it will certainly be among the better online backup services that transfers your files quickly onto their servers. Also, they have good security features. They have a 448 blowfish encryption of your files. So this is the top-notch security encryption. If you want to know more about that, please have a look at Google and enter just blowfish, and then you come to the right side. And this is what actually I like about that service. What I disliked a little bit is the fact that obviously I am pretty restricted with the space. I have just too much data to use Safecopy Backup. But if you don't have more than, well, I think their plans go up to 300 gigabyte. If you have less than 300 gigabyte to back up, then, well, that's just fine. And you have the advantage that you can use that among multiple machines. But, well, for my purposes, I'd rather go with an unlimited online backup services to really back up all my data. But if you are only looking to back up your photo collection, for example, then Safecopy Backup might be the perfect option for you. And as I said before, you can test the service out. Just download the free software and get the 3 GB account for life. And if you need more, you can still think about whether you want to purchase more storage space or go for another online backup provider. I hope I could really help you with that video, and if you liked it, please share it on your social networks, or if you have a website linked to it, that would be great as well. And if you'd like to see more videos on online backup services, I have made plenty of videos, more than 50 videos on online backup services, so have a look at cloudbackupping.com and choose the right service provider for your files. I'm Mauricio Prinslao for cloudbackupping.com, and I hope we are going to see us in the next video. Bye-bye.